We're gonna have to be really careful on this. What's up, y'all? Andy, EPS Garage. I'm gonna keep this short and sweet. I'm gonna try to do that more with my videos. But anyways, my wife got this game table from her grandparent and it was jacked up. The finish on the top was all jacked up. I don't even know what it was finished with. It wasn't shellac, but it was some type of thick lacquer maybe, but it was peeling up. Then we set a plant on it, and the water seeped into it and really messed it up. So I attempted to refinish the top. It turned out really well, I think you will agree, but I did run into some trouble and it wasn't very easy. So here it is, hope y'all enjoy. I'll see y'all next time. Man, it's a cold, wet, nasty day. I'm gonna start by removing these legs. I will probably mark them with a marker so I can put them exactly back where they went. I wanna name this one number 1. And we'll do this one as number 2. But I'm just gonna remove these legs, flip it over, and sand it on my tabletop here. I better mark over here too. 1, 2. I felt it was important to mark all my legs to make sure they go back in the right spot. I'm not sure if this thing was stained, but I think it was. And that could cause some problems because now I'm gonna have to try to match the stain. Oh well. Top coat is jacked. I mean, it's just flaking off. I'm thinking that it's what do you call it? Lacquer. I put alcohol on it and it didn't dissolve, so I don't think it's shellac. And it's kind of yellowed. My guess is it's really thick coat of lacquer. And over here, this is pulled up. Why did that pull up? Oh man. This part, I wonder if it's glued together. I really wasn't sure how this was put together, so I was kind of checking it out, and if it wasn't glued together, figure maybe just take it all apart and see what's going on with it. I decided I'm gonna go ahead and see if this comes off. Line. I make a line on the frame and the bottom of the board to make sure that it goes back in the exact same place. This is particle board. Damn it. This is Ethan and Alan. And they did this. This is like a laminate on particle board. That is dumb. This is supposed to be good furniture. Water made this swell. We're gonna have to be really careful on this. Okay. So this is like a thin veneer, I guess you would say. Look at that. That is not high quality furniture, my friends. Shit. Oh, really thin too. Okay. I think we can do this. We're gonna have to sand it down very, very lightly. I started the sanding process using 80 grit very, very carefully. I used it just to where I started seeing that I was hitting the veneer. And then from there, I switched to 200. I skipped 120 altogether because I did not want to go through that veneer. And I did this all very, very gingerly. And hand sanding is always fun too, you know. I'm trying to be really careful here not to go through this very, very thin veneer. I mean, it's really thin. And my work did pay off. I did not go through in any of the veneer spots, so I was pretty happy with it. And for the outer part of the table, it was solid wood, so very easy. Same process, 80 grit. This one I went to 120, and then I stopped at 220. And it was no issues at all. I've got it all sanded down. I'm trying to match this as best as possible with the legs and the chairs. So I think I found this espresso. It looks pretty close. And I think I'm gonna go with that. I don't want to have to sand down and remove all the coatings on everything else. Let me get a fresh rag. So I tested a couple colors here. They're pretty similar. I don't know, maybe I like that. Or the espresso. Let me see here. They're really close. Yep, it's gonna be the espresso. I let the stain dry. Overall, pretty happy with it. I decided I'm gonna go with this polyacrylic. It's a water base clear coat. I really like this stuff. I've used it a lot. I used it on our pantry doors. I've used it in a tabletop that I made. It always works out well, but I'm gonna use that for this table. I went ahead and separated the two, put the coats on them individually. Just try to keep from getting too much in between here so it still fits when I'm done. But that should be it. I'm gonna go ahead and get this going. And like I said, I really like this product. You just mix it well, and I like to pour mine into a separate container. That's just me. I'm sure you could use it straight out of the can. And then I use a synthetic brush usually. And from there, I apply it to the piece. I always start in the middle of the piece and work my way out. That's just to prevent it from, collecting on the edge and dripping over. One thing with this product is you can't keep going over the same spot. Nice, easy strokes. Keep it wet in your strokes and don't go back over that spot. Let it dry, do your inner between sanding, and then put another coat on. I usually apply about 3 to 4 coats, and the outcome's always pretty good. I've showed this in my other videos, but it's a quick trick. Get a damp rag, wrap your brush with it, and you can put it in the refrigerator, and this will prevent you from having to clean it each time and prevent it from drying out in between your coats. All right, spared you all the details of the final coats, but I always finish my final coat with craft paper. It really polishes it off well, and that's the way I like to finish my finishes, basically. And from there, this thing had that horrible seam, as you can see, and water got in there and screwed up the corner of that plywood with the veneer. So my decision was to put some caulk around it and kind of seal that edge. So if water ever does get in there again, at least to be somewhat protected. The final product turned out really good. In between coats, I usually use like a 600 grit sandpaper. Even craft paper works well, but I was very happy with it, and more importantly, the wife was happy with it. So maybe this helps you in a little refurbish project you're gonna do. Hope you all enjoy it. I'll see you next time.